Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Yana no Ya. 2023 has ended, and for this episode, I suggested that we do a 2023 wrap-up episode, basically just talking about all of the 2023 media that came out and our favorites and least favorites from them all, like movies, TV shows, games, as well as our favorite things that we watched or played or whatever in 2023 in general. And then we look back on the podcast and talk about our favorite episodes, artwork, and all of that. We did have some technical difficulties trying to record this episode. It took us a few different sittings in order to finish it due to some internet problems and power outages, but we managed to get it done. So in case you hear us referencing any of that in the episode or notice that we had to split up the recordings, so that's what happened there. But yeah, if you want to skip to any certain points in the episode, then we always have our timestamps in the description, as well as the links to our link trees and all of our social medias and the Patreon if you want to support the podcast. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoy it and have a happy new year. Yeah, how was your guys' New Year's? First of all, Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, everybody.
2024.
Happy New Year.
We originally meant to record this at the end of 2023, but it's now 2024. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was your guys' New Year's? Did you do any New Year's?
My New Year's was good, yeah. I was pretty hungover yesterday, so I'm glad that we did this recording today, because my brain just did not want to work. Just got together with some friends, went out around bar hopping a bit, did some karaoke.
What songs did you sing?
Goodbye Stranger by Supertramp.
Oh, of course you did.
To do karaoke. I love that song. I know it's a pretty basic karaoke song, but I've always wanted to do American Pie by Don McLean, and I was like killing it. I thought I was doing really good.
Was it the 7-minute version?
Yes, it was the 7-minute version. Yeah. I didn't know there was a shorter version.
Imagine if you were like doing terrible and everyone's just like, can this guy shut the fuck up?
No, I know. Thank God though, because like, I would have just stopped doing the song if I noticed like everyone was kind of annoyed with it. I would have just been like, I'm just gonna drop the mic now. Like it was exactly how I imagined I wanted it to be in my head. Like everybody was like singing along, getting into it, and like they were clapping at the end. Like I felt like a fucking star for 7 minutes. It was awesome. So that was the highlight of my night.
Imagine drinking.
Okay, you fucking teetotaler.
Yeah. I just haven't done it in ages now.
Dude,
Good.
that's good
Hell
though,
yeah.
because that's one of my 2024 goals.
I'm not going to commit to anything because I don't like committing to New Year's resolutions because they're silly, but like I think I might like try and see how long I can go.
I think setting that goal, you're just going to be like gasping for it. Like if you're just consciously like, yeah, I don't need it.
No, not really, because I have drugs now.
Oh.
Good substitute.
Yeah. Speaking of which, do you want to know about my New Year's?
You got high and played Apex?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. But like, I broke in the new year with some Apex and other shit, and I took dexamphetamine.
What the fuck is that?
They're called Dexies over here, but basically they just like keep you awake for a long time. And I combined that with marijuana, and it was a great time. The day of like the 31st, I was like up since like 9:30 a.m. or something. I like went through till like 8:30 or something like that at work. Afterwards, I took it and I got home. I was just so fucking awake for like ages. And I like ended up staying up like 24 hours in total, basically. That was a memorable one.
Holy.
It was also a lonely one.
I just looked it up. Dexies are a fucking ADHD medication.
yeah, they're good for that too.
Is that like Adderall? It's probably like Adderall or something like that.
I worked until 8 o'clock, and then we got off because the cinema closed early. Then I went home, got drunk, and watched When Harry Met Sally, and I cried. That's about it.
Aw. That sounds like a white woman's idea of like a lonely...
At the end of the night, it always gets me, man. You know what's
No,
coming, but like...
Before we go any further, let's thank some patrons. Kath at Kath Fern Way, thank you for being a patron, Kath.
Thank you, Kath. Gonna say thank you,
Oh,
Keelan,
thanks,
or
Kath.
what?
Oh, sorry, I was distracted. I was distracted. Thanks, Kath.
And thanks, Julia. Moving _ pictures.
Thanks, Julia.
No, she's just not getting my thanks. Thank you, Sarah's Popcorn Chat, for being a patron.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. And thank you, Ardor Film.
Thank you,
Amy.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Amy.
Thanks, Luna___Pearl.
Thanks, Liam's mom.
Liam's mom.
Thank you to Quinn's brother, Graham.
Thanks, Graham. Wait, it's no longer like the Faithful Five, or what are we? The something six.
Sexy.
Sexy or sacred.
Sacred six.
What we've been watching?
I watched The Holdovers. Yeah, like Keelan said on the last episode, it's a masterpiece. Just has everything I could have wanted out of a movie. Amazing performances, really down to earth, just a heartwarming vibe to it. And I love the characters, love the comedy. It's an instant Christmas classic. I seriously will probably come back to this each Christmas season.
I rewatched it yesterday, and yeah, it holds up. I fucking adore it. It's fantastic.
Nice.
It is so good. It gets the official recommendation for The Holdovers, and I'm assuming you give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
5
10
out
out
of
10
5,
for sure.
whatever. I watched a little movie called Thanksgiving. Yeah, Eli Roth's first good movie. I've seen like fucking, I've seen Hostel. I like Hostel. I think that's a pretty solid movie. Cabin Fever is not my thing. The characters are far too fucking annoying. Green Inferno is awful. I hate that movie. It is so shit, but it's better than Cannibal Holocaust somehow, which is weird. But Thanksgiving is just it's just a straightforward slasher. Like, it takes clear inspirations from Scream. It's kind of like Scream in that, like, you can't really predict who the killer is. It has a lot of fun with it, and it pretty much like squeezes everything you can out of the concept of a Thanksgiving slasher. Like, we don't have Thanksgiving over here, but like everything in the movie that they do is just like, oh yeah, I know that from like movies and stuff. And the characters weren't the best, but they're fun enough for what they are. They're fine. They're just there to get killed, and that's kind of what you'd want in a film like Thanksgiving, because the gore is kind of the selling point to me, because the gore is it's really fucking good. I was shocked by how hard they went. Like, there's some fucking visuals in the movie that are kind of disgusting. Like, it's great.
Yeah,
I love that kind of shit. And I think the most surprising thing to me is that there was one or two scenes that were actually really tense. One was like the woman sneaking around the basement. I really, really loved that scene. That was really fucking well done. And Patrick Dempsey was good in it. I don't know the names of any of the rest of the actors. I like the main girl. I like the main guy. It's very fun. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Well done, Eli. You did it. You had made a good movie. 7 out of 10.
It is good. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I just thought, it was really, really fun.
Yeah, we'll go with this one. Keelan's heard it. I listened to Cracker Island by Gorillaz. Their most recent album. Disappointing. Quite disappointing. But not awful or anything. I kind of feel like the same way I feel about it as I feel about Humans, honestly. Because I think they're both like kind of similar in how like muddled they are. Even though Humans is like way too long and Cracker Island is at least shorter.
Yeah, I think Humans is like twice the length.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I gave it a 5 out of 10. Like, coming after Song Machine, it's just kind of like what really happened here. Song Machine had like so much great production, like great features and everything like that, and Cracker Island just like falls so short on some songs. Like, a lot of songs just sound like basic as hell. It's like fun and stuff, so I can see why people would enjoy it, but it's like, I always want something more out of Gorillaz, like, because they are such an interesting band, and I like that they have a big variety and stuff. But yeah, Cracker Island isn't their worst or anything, it's just like fine. I enjoyed Cracker Island, the title track.
That song is a fucking banger.
Yeah, it is. I enjoyed Tarantula, and I cannot stop fucking listening to Silent Running. I can't stop. In the last like 6 days alone, I've listened to it like 12 times. It's so good. The synth in that song is like fucking unreal. I love it.
What
would be your favorite?
Either Cracker Island or Skinny Ape. I really like those two.
I didn't like Skinny Ape. I just thought it was annoying. Ape.
I thought it was fun. I don't think I'd ever use the word like disappointing to describe a Gorillaz album anymore, like personally, because like at this point in their career, by the time they'd like, taken the hiatus before fucking Humans, they've released more music since, and it has been hit and miss, but I appreciate that they're always trying something different. So like if an album doesn't work for me, it's just like, oh, okay.
I'm glad they're not like really stopping lately. Like, I'm glad they're like consistently releasing stuff. It's good.
Oh yeah, and like it would have been hard to top Song Machine, because that might be like my second favorite Gorillaz album at this point. I really, really love that album. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
The top two should always be Plastic Beach and Demon Days. Demon Days above Plastic Beach.
That's incorrect, and Song Machine probably knocked Demon Days from the second spot.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
Plastic Beach
What are you talking about? Demon Days is like iconic. It
is. but I prefer Song Machine. I love Demon Days, but Song
have
Machine,
fun being wrong.
Song Machine's really good.
I watched a movie that has not left my mind since, and I'm already looking forward to rewatching it, and everybody's fucking talking about it, and that is Saltburn. This is one of those movies that, like, going in blind really is the best thing to do, because that's what I did. You go in and I had no idea what to expect, and by the end it's just so much to process and to kind of take in, because like I didn't know where the movie was going, that after watching it just sticks in your head, and it's like I know that going through a second time will be even better, because I'll like have everything fucking filtered through already, and like I want to watch it again. Amazing cast, like just a great cast of a ton of people, and just great fucking performances, an amazing soundtrack. I've been listening to the soundtrack. The movie looks great, but as of now I'm still feeling like an 8 out of 10 on it, but after a rewatch it can only go up. Like I could see this going up to a 9, maybe even a 10 if I like it that much on rewatch, which I didn't expect, because I didn't love Promising Young Woman. Like I thought it was good, but this is definitely Emerald's best movie. There was a lot of shocking scenes, like at least 3 scenes to where I was like kind of grossed out and cringing, and they kind of each got worse and worse like by the end of it. Then there was like a scene and normally I wouldn't like that. I'd feel like they're doing it for shock value, but I don't know, it's a hard movie to talk about in that way, because I can't tell if they're being like, I guess trying to get buzz going, which it's working, you know. This is getting a lot of people talking about it, but just check it out. Go in blind. Barry Keoghan is awesome.
I watched the Paul Verhoeven classic Showgirls for the first time, and I unexpectedly, genuinely kind of loved it, which was shocking because I've heard nothing but like terrible things over the years. Like it's a constant like punchline, like especially around in movies, like around the time. Like I think there's that fucking part in Scream 2 where like Ghostface is talking to Randy and he's like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" And Randy's like, "Oh, Showgirls, absolutely terrifying." I found a lot to enjoy in it, and I did not expect that. I thought the main character was actually fairly fucking excellently written. Her performance was it starts off very like fiery and intense, and at some points you're just like, can you tone it down a little? But like she keeps ramping it up, and by the end is just like, hell yeah, you go for it. You fucking go for it, hell yeah. But the story as well, I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed the writing. I liked the satire of it. It's criticizing, that kind of industry, like stripping and showgirl dancing or whatever, and it's just kind of shining a light on it. And it's just like there's kind of like fucked up things going underneath. Kyle MacLachlan's also in it, who was fun because, I get to tie it into Twin Peaks lore somehow in some fucking convoluted way. Just fucking in my head, just like, oh yeah, this happened this time. And especially since the return takes place in Las Vegas, it's just like, hell yeah. It's campy, but I feel like it's also sincere, and that's one of its biggest strengths, and that's what I appreciated the most about it. The camp helps in tandem with the sincerity, I feel. If it was all campy, I probably would have been like, hell yeah, this is great. But like seeing that there's like a sincere satirical side to it, it helps it go down easier, and it kind of helps to take it a bit more seriously. Unexpectedly really fucking liked it. I'm really shocked. It was probably one of the biggest surprises I've had in anything I watched last year. I'd recommend it. 8 out of 10.
Do an album that we've all heard, Desire I Want to Turn Into You by Caroline Polachek. Listen to that.
Oh, have you heard, Quinn?
Yeah, I heard
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good. Just doesn't come close to Pang for me, because that album is very important to me. It's like a lot more pop heavy than Pang, I feel like, because I think that album has like more of a cohesive like atmosphere to it. But this one is really good. Like it's good pop, so it gets a pass. Like it's fucking great. And her vocals are just insane as always. I love her.
Oh yeah.
Like my god, the vocals. Yeah, I loved Pretty Impossible. I loved Sunset. I loved I Believe. I've heard it twice now. I'll listen more and see how I feel about it after multiple listens.
Yeah.
And yeah, but for now it's still an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it the same score, 8 out of 10. I also really like Smoke and Billions. Those are really good too. I watched Fair Play, which is a 2023 movie that came out. Not many people were talking about it. Like the plot is really, really simple. It's just a really small, contained thriller kind of character drama. It's the performances are like, I mean, I can't even exaggerate, like they are some of the best of the year that I saw. Like this alone makes me think Alden Ehrenreich is like one of the most underrated actors like right now. He is so fucking good in this movie. It's unreal. Same with the lead actress as well. The performances are just amazing. In terms of the plot, I mean, it's pretty simple. Tense, really tense, and like it just builds and builds throughout the entire movie. Character drama about this relationship that is kind of like falling apart. You'll just have to watch it. I don't really want to talk too much about the plot, but it's an amazing movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and to be honest, on rewatch, it could go up to a 10. I loved it that much. I'm confident in saying that it's like the most underrated movie of 2023.
So I'll throw in an old album there. The second last album I listened to in third last album I listened to in 2023, actually, fuck me. An album called Scream Bloody Gore by Death. They're a death metal pioneers. The album Scream Bloody Gore is like, it's commonly referred to as like the first ever death metal album, but it isn't. It's like the second, but you know, it's still fucking fantastic. I never listened to it before. I've always been meaning to listen to Death because I've heard they're like just one of the greatest metal bands of all time. So I decided to be like, hey, let's throw this on and see what it's like. And yeah, it was fucking mind-blowing. It's fucking, there's riffs all over this thing that just fucking melted my brain. Like the fucking the vocal performances are fucking fantastic. I mean, I know it's screaming, it's fucking growling, but like that shit's hard to do, and like what this guy is doing, it's fucking impressive, like especially with some of the hooks on it. Oh, there's like a bit in one of the songs called Zombie Ritual where he just goes like fucking drink from the goblet of gore, and it's like it's the heaviest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. It's so fucking cool. I absolutely fucking adored it. And if you're into death metal at all, any type of metal, if you're open to fucking listening to screaming and just like really loud guitars and drums, then check out Death, because they're fucking fantastic. I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for now, but I could see it easily going up to a 10. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
I guess accidentally finished a game.
Accidentally?
You accidentally finished a game?
Yeah, I didn't.
He fell onto his controller and accidentally hit the buttons.
That's exactly what happened. No, I just kind of like was playing casually, and then I like kind of realized, wait, is this about to end? Because yeah, like it did. I just didn't expect it. I was like, damn, okay. I finished Cyberpunk. I got kind of like because you can get like kind of multiple endings in that game. Think I basically got the bad ending, but like I'm not mad about it because it was actually kind of interesting, and I like the way that it, like what it has to say. I don't know if you want like spoilers for this, because it's like it's something that can potentially happen in your game, but it might not. So I don't know. It's up to you guys if you want me to go into spoilers or not.
Yeah.
Spoilers for Cyberpunk, the video game.
What basically happened was V, the main character, trusted Hanako, basically. I trusted Hanako. I went and did the end mission, basically, and by the end of it, she doesn't keep her end of the deal, so I basically like end up in space, like in orbit, in like a pretty much like a mental facility, and basically you're just kind of like going through that for ages, and then eventually they do one like final like operation on you to basically, what they say is like get the biochip out and save V, but pretty much just ends on a cliffhanger. So she goes into operating and then the game ends. It's really interesting the way that it ended though, because like I feel like the message of it afterwards was basically like, you can't beat Arasaka. Like they are just too powerful. They will not hold up their end of the deal at all. And like I kind of like that about it, like having this big evil corporation that is like feels unbeatable. It was just a really interesting ending, but the game overall, I do really like it. I haven't gotten like the new update that, you know, makes everything a lot better. The style of the game and everything, like the design of everything is really interesting. I wish that there was more customization and shit like that. I think a game like this really opens itself up to that kind of stuff, and it felt like it should have delivered on that front. I don't know if the update changes anything with that.
Cyberpunk's good because of the world. I don't think the story is very good or unique at all. I think it's a fine story for what it is. However, I think it might be my favorite Keanu Reeves performance. I think he's fucking excellent in it. Like,
he genuinely is.
Really fucking
he
good.
really, really is, yeah. Like, it's... I don't know if I'd call it my favorite right now or anything, but, like, the amount of time that you, like, spend with him and get to know him and stuff, it's, like, he just shines so much. Wow. He's the best character in the game.
Like, he knows what the world is. He knows how to play it, and he plays it perfectly for what the game is.
Good game. Feeling like an 8 out of 10.
Mini topics, I have, like, one. All right, well, I'll get my one out of the way, just because... Mickey Mouse has entered the public domain, which means, yeah. So I didn't know if that was one of your topics or anybody, but
I didn't hear about that.
The only reason it's like significant at all is because it was just so random. I just saw, like, now that it's public domain, already there's a horror game for Mickey Mouse announced and a slasher movie for Mickey Mouse announced.
Cool. Mickey Mouse, Blood and Honey. Or Blood and...
I was about to fucking
magic.
say, it's like, this is a new trend, yeah. But I don't know what the slasher movie's called. But I know the horror game is called Infestation 88. I haven't seen anything about him, but I just think it's just funny that, like, why are we going straight to horror for Mickey Mouse? But it's
easiest to
weird.
do. There was 3 slashers announced, and the only one that I remember the name of is Steamboat Killy. 'Cause it's not the version of Mickey Mouse from Fantasia that's in public domain now. It's the one from Steamboat Willie specifically.
Yeah, that old black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, and also went into the public domain as of yesterday. It was Peter Pan, and also the film The Passion of Joan of Arc. If you've never seen that movie, I guess there's no excuse now. You can find it fucking anywhere. It's great that it's in public domain. I'm so happy for it, because Disney have been like a fucking bitch when it comes to like copyright shit. The copyright expired like after 50 years or something, which seemed 50 years after the artist's death, and then
that's the one.
Disney got it changed to like 75 or something, and then it just kept going on and on until they're just like, no, we can't fucking keep doing this. So now they're gonna start losing out on some stuff in the next 100 years. Thank fuck. Let people make their shitty fucking slasher movies and get like a quick buck.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, though. What if there's anything even good that comes out of it? I mean, I didn't see that Winnie the Pooh movie, but I heard it was terrible. So I'm kind of worried about these types of slasher movies, but maybe it'll be fun. Maybe the game will be fun.
A little short one. I saw today that apparently Kevin Feige has said that everything pre-MCU is now canon in the MCU. So that includes The Punisher, it includes Spider-Man, it includes Fantastic Four, and most importantly, it includes Howard the fucking Duck. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? Because, I mean, now they did all the multiverse shit. They brought in the different Spider-Man. So now, I mean, it's kind of, it makes sense, I guess.
There's going to be fucking plot holes galore.
It feels a bit desperate now, considering how shittily, like, MCU movies have done this year, apart from Guardians 3.
I did hear that they're, like, slowing down, though, apparently.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm pretty sure that... I think I, like, read this somewhere. It could be, like, totally bullshit, but, like, they said that maybe there's, like, going to be no Marvel movies in 2024.
They need to have a higher standard. Get better writers, trust directors, I guess. Like, fucking do something fucking weird and wacky. Stop fucking making everything so insular. I saw a couple of clips of Iron Man 2 on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, wow, I thought I hated this movie. But it was like all Sam Rockwell stuff, and Sam Rockwell is great, and it was just like, but there's like so much personality to them. It's just like, wow, it feels like there's an actual voice behind like what's going on visually and in the writing. Like, I don't like that movie, but like, it's just a breath of fresh air considering it's the same fucking studio that brought us Quantum Mania.
No, I'm telling you, when I look back at those old Marvel movies, even the ones I didn't like Thor 1 is pretty bland, but like when I go back and look at it, I'm like, this feels like a real movie.
The cinematic universe thing was fun at first, but now it's just becoming too homogenized that it's just like, can you just do something different, please? Can you go back to standalone stories?
It's just that they got excited too quick and like didn't know how to pump the fucking brakes, honestly.
I feel like it's more to do with they didn't have a fucking clue what to do after Endgame.
Now they're even in more of a mess because of the whole Jonathan Majors stuff.
That was my other mini topic.
On Kang. Oh, oops. Well, that's a good segue though, right?
He's apparently like gone for good now, so.
I've seen a rumor that they've already cast the next Kang. It's Coleman Domingo. He was in If Beale Street Could Talk. He was in Candyman, which I really fucking loved.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Okay.
No, not the Candyman. That's Tony Todd. Like he played like a.
I know you mean the Beale Street guy. I mean, I haven't seen Candyman.
Yeah.
And he was also in Zola, which I thought he was great in. But he is a very fucking good actor from what I've seen of him.
He's really good in Euphoria.
So I think he could do a good job at it if they actually, do something interesting from now on.
I had a last little mini topic, but it's like, something we've brought up way too many times on here, but rest in peace to Lee Sung-keun and Tom Wilkinson.
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Apparently he like left a note that was akin to suicide, like a suicide note, got in his car and did that whole thing. It's just so sad, and he was like 48, like I don't know what was getting him down, but that's really fucking sad. Not
to get gossipy about it, but like I heard something even more fucked up, which is to do with apparently he did it because South Korea has like very, very strict drug laws, and apparently he was like tricked into taking a drug like at a party or something, and like he could have like been seeing life in prison basically, which is
I
really
heard
fucking.
about this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it's fucked up. You know, the fact that they had to.
It's
it just
horrible.
came to that. Yeah, so the main topic, it's going to be a looser topic. It's what I've suggested. I mean, it's what we did last year. Just a 2023 wrap-up. I wanted us to talk about just the whole year in general, basically, like, looking at all the different forms of media that we liked, our favorite movies, least favorite movies, shows, music, games, anything 2023, and then also talking about just in general like our favorite things we discovered, even if it wasn't a 2023 release. And then we'll, you know, look back on the podcast for a bit too at the end. Might as well just jump into what we thought the best movies of the year were. I really was tempted to rank it, but these are really close for me. But yeah, what I thought the best movies were, The Holdovers. Obviously, I can at least say that is my favorite movie of the year. But coming in close, I have Beau is Afraid. That was my favorite movie of the year. I loved Beau is Afraid. I mean, I knew I would love it. Such a unique, crazy movie. I can't wait to rewatch it. And Oppenheimer, of course. I had to throw Air in. I loved Ben Affleck's movie Air. Saw that twice. Really fun movie. It's just a good old dad movie. But yeah, Infinity Pool. Can't forget that. I think that came out like early this year. Or last year, I guess now. It's a weird one, but I mean, if you've seen Possessor, you kind of know what to expect. So yeah, it's good. I threw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in there. It's the only superhero movie of that year that I actually liked. So good. Killers of the Flower Moon, of course. Saltburn, like I mentioned. John Wick 4, fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
I've still got a few left. There was a lot of best movies. Like, I really tried to limit, like, but I just thought these were the best. Boy and the Heron, I didn't even talk about that, but I went and saw Boy and the Heron. It was great. I thought it was great. The voice acting, especially.
Did you see the dub?
Yeah, I did see the dubbed. I specifically wanted to see the dub because I heard about how unrecognizable Robert Pattinson's voice was, and they were totally right. Like, it is insane. The fact that, like, never is there a second to where even I was trying to hear Robert Pattinson's voice. I was making myself imagine it, and I still couldn't imagine that was him. So
Did you know who he played,
nuts.
or were you just guessing?
No, he played the Heron. Dude, it's insane. Like, it's just the weirdest. It's such a unique voice performance, and like the fact that it came from him is even crazier. Really quick, okay, Knock at the Cabin. I threw that in there because why not?
It was a good movie.
Yeah, Napoleon, Thanksgiving, Fair Play, like I mentioned. Megan, I gotta throw Megan in there, and
Fun
and
movie.
And then Skinamarink, because that technically came out this year. It depends on where you look, but I mean, I consider it a 2023 movie.
There's still like so much I have to see. Like, I know I'll love Poor Things. That's probably going to be my favorite movie of the year. I've no doubt. I love Yorgos Lanthimos' films. It is going to hit for me. I'm so positive. Boy and the Heron, obviously, Ferrari, stuff like that. Very excited to see all those. I'm just going to rattle off like my 8 out of 10s, let's say.
That's what I did. All mine were 8 or higher. Like, none of mine were lower than 8. So,
yeah, like I have them ranked as well, so I'll do them from worst to best, I suppose. So we have May December. Really, really love that movie. That was a great, great movie. Beau is Afraid. Yeah, it was on your list as well. It's an interesting movie. I think about it a lot. I don't completely love it, but it is a movie I think about a lot, and I think if it was just the first hour, it'd probably be my favorite movie of the year, because the first hour is absolutely perfect. It is brilliant, but it just kind of falls apart in the second half for me. Let's say the third act is pretty good. I like the third act. And there's Reality. I really like that one. That was a tense little movie. I really like how it was done. It was very stylistic. I like that one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. That was fucking badass. I love that movie. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, but it's genuinely really fun, really creative, really funny. I liked it. Really liked that one a lot. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Really liked that movie. Fucking Rachel McAdams is great in it. Benny Safdie, fucking Kathy Bates. Some great acting there, and it's just like a great story. In general, I love the character of Margaret. I think she's like really wonderful. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Fuck yeah, hell yeah, dudes rock. Love that movie. Then we got Talk to Me. Talk to Me was great. Really liked Talk to Me. Bottoms, I thought that was very funny. Really liked that one. Saw X. It didn't crack my top 10, unfortunately, but it's at 11. It's at 11. It gave me
Yeah.
everything that I could have wanted from it, and I'm so happy it exists, and I cannot wait for Saw 11. In number 10, I have another movie that's actually a 10th sequel in a franchise called Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Hey. Oh, wait, what? It's another what?
Nothing.
Oh.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, really fucking great movie.
Yeah.
It is, by a country mile, the best MCU movie, in my opinion.
Hot damn. That's a take.
Liam, back me up here.
I don't blame
No,
you.
I mean, it's...
I don't blame you.
It's not... I mean, that's not a bad take. It's just, wow.
I have Blackberry. I fucking love that movie, man. It was so fucking fantastic. You know, 2023 was kind of the year of like the corporate biopic or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's probably the best one. I haven't seen them all, but could guarantee that Blackberry is probably the best one. I've been a fan of Matt Johnson's work. I really love his show, Nirvana, the band, the show. He fucking nailed it here as a director and as an actor. He was fucking great in it. Glenn Howerton's probably one of my favorite performances of the year. He is like so good in it. I wouldn't say he's unrecognizable or anything, but he puts so much energy and passion into the role that I fell in love with it. And then number 8, we have John Wick Chapter 4. You know, what's more is there to say? It's fucking great. It's one of the best action movies of the past decade, probably. Number 7, Barbie. We can skip right over that. Number 6, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yes, love it. It kind of went down the more I thought about it, but I'm just waiting for that second one. I got it on 4K recently, so I'm going to give it a rewatch soon enough and see, is it a 9, is it a 10? Number 5 for me is a movie that I don't think anyone has heard of except for me and a few of my friends, which is called I Like Movies.
I've heard of that.
Because of me, have you? Is that it?
No.
Or did you find out? Okay, that's good. That's fantastic. People need to know about it. It's a really fucking great movie. I think it's by a first-time director. What was it? Yeah, Chandler Levac. And
I've heard of it, actually. I have seen the trailer. I totally forgot about it till now. Yeah.
Watch
I'll
it.
have to watch
It
it.
is.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's, you know, it's about, you know, a kid that loves movies and like cinephiles kind of, they're like, oh yeah, he's literally me, this is me. But like, I find the story and the characters very interesting, and especially where it goes in the third act. It's well judged is what I'd say. I think I said that in my review. I thought I said like whatever happens in the third act, it's very well judged and it's very well executed, and I loved it. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year, and it's probably destined to like be the most underrated film of the year. I think it's fantastic. Number 4, Big Marty with Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Gets better the more I think about it. I really want to rewatch it despite it being 3.5 hours long. Number 3, Sanctuary. We're getting into the 10s now. I have 3 10 out of 10s. Yeah, Sanctuary,
Nice.
I fucking loved it. I rewatched it again yesterday as well, along with the Holdovers, and it holds up for me. Really, really fun movie. Really great dynamic between Margaret Qualley and fucking Chris Rabbit. Number 2, Oppenheimer. Everyone knows, everyone's seen it. Great fucking movie. And I agree with Quinn. Number 1 movie of the year, The Holdovers. Just perfect fucking movie.
I'll just name them off. Like, I really don't have much. I watched 14 2023 movies. Fucking Killers of the Flower Moon. Good shit. Didn't love it, but it was good. The Flash I liked, but God knows why. Knock at the Cabin, Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, John Wick 4, Oppenheimer, and Beau is Afraid. Beau is Afraid would still be my number 1.
Whoa, even over Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
And that's in your top 3 Nolans now. That's crazy.
Least favorite movies of 2023.
Okay.
Who would like to start with that?
I'll get it rolling. I'll just name off a few. I mean, I suppose we could include like disappointing in this as well. Well, I suppose the only film that really disappointed, well, just 2 disappointments this year actually. Asteroid City was a bit of a disappointment. I liked it, but I'd say it was a little disappointing from, you know, what I would expect from Wes Anderson.
I've been seeing that be put on like people's lists as like the number 1 worst like so often lately.
It's not that
Asteroid
bad.
City.
It's just there's just something missing from it that, you know, other Wes Anderson films give me that Asteroid City just doesn't. The biggest disappointment of the year for me was The Killer, the new David Fincher movie. I really wish I liked it more. I'm glad people seem to be generally liking it, but just wasn't enough for me, I suppose. And in terms of actual worst, like the worst pieces of shit of the year, I'll do the top 10 worst. Why not? Number 10, we've Cocaine Bear.
Wow, that's 10. I'd hate to see the other 9. Holy shit, if that's 10.
Oh, that was awful. That was like such fucking garbage. Number 9, we got the Super Mario Brothers movie. Oh my god,
it's a piece of shit.
What a
Wow.
fucking piece of shit. What a hateful fucking movie. I hate it so much. Then Shazam! Fury of the Gods at number 8. What a fucking colossal disaster.
I think I've literally just given up on DC at this point. I haven't watched their last 3 movies. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you might like Blue Beetle. A lot of people liked Blue Beetle. I don't know what didn't do it for me.
I guess it's just knowing that, like, it's leading to, you know, the end of it
to
kind
nothing,
of now. It's
or,
like, what's the point, you know?
Blue Beetle is one of few movies where I've just watched half of it and stopped. Like, I usually like finishing a movie, but Blue Beetle, I watched half of it and I was like, it wasn't bad. It was just like, I've seen this before. I don't need to finish this. So I just stopped. Number 7, we got Five Nights at Freddy's, the biggest hit movie of the year. Probably an alright entry-level horror movie, but it's a piece of shit. And number 6, we have Fool's Paradise, the directorial debut from Charlie Day. It was insufferable. Can't believe it was as bad as it was. It was awful. Charlie Day was good in it. That's about the best thing I can say about it. Like, but he doesn't speak a single line of dialogue, so, you know, he's just doing like a Charlie Chaplin thing. It can be amusing at times, but it was mostly insufferable. Number 5, The Flash. Less said about that, the better. It's awful. It is so shit. The most recent entry, number 4, we've got Saltburn. I really fucking hated it. I despised it. I don't know what people see in it. Sorry, Quinn. I know you like it a lot.
No comment. But I don't know. I mean, it definitely, I can see how it's not for everybody. I mean, it's just, I don't know why I liked it so much, to be honest. I'm surprised I did.
It's not weird enough. That was one of my biggest issues with it.
Oh, really?
It thinks it's weird, but it's just like, oh, this is tame shit. Like, what the, oh, he slurps cum. Whatever. Fucking big deal.
I thought the ending scene, which we don't have to spoil it, obviously, but, like, I'll just say the graveyard scene, that to me was, like, that was pushing it for me, even me. And I've seen a Serbian film. Like, I'm like, this is, like, kind of gross.
That was, like, one of 3 times in the movie where I laughed.
I was like uncomfortable, but I was like, damn, they're really going there. Okay.
They should have went further. That's my expert opinion. Anyway, the number 3 worst, we got After Everything. That's the name of it. I forgot the song. It's fun though. I liked watching it. Dog shit, but you know, me and Liam's tradition is over. End of an era. So sad.
No, we'll watch the prequels.
Yes, the prequels. Sorry, fuck yeah, we're so back. We are so back. Number 2 worst, Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania. Piece of shit. Everyone hates it. I'm glad they do. It's awful.
Very bad.
The fucking nail in the coffin for the MCU, pretty much. Because like, what the fuck else are they gonna do now? Echo is out on Friday, I think. That could be good, but otherwise, I don't know. And then number 1 movie of the year. Yeah, the best movie of the year, Ghosted, starring Ana de Armas and Chris Evans. That was an absolute pile of dog shit. I don't know why I watched it. There was a Ryan Reynolds cameo, that's all you need to know. It's awful. I screamed when he fucking popped up. It was like a jump scare. I hated it. Yeah, I don't feel bad about spoiling the shit, but there's like 3 cameos back to back. I think it's like, 4 cameos. Ryan Reynolds, Anthony Mackie, John Cho, and Sebastian Stan. They all just like pop up like one after another.
Just MCU cameos.
Yeah, and then John Cho is in there for some reason.
Oh.
I like John Cho, but it'll be forgotten about. And it's directed by Dexter Fletcher, which fucking shocked me, because like I really love Rocket Man, and Eddie the Eagle is like really fun as well.
Yeah, I'll get through mine. I didn't rank these, but I'll just name them. Least favorites to my worst. That Totally Killer movie that came out on like Amazon Prime. It's just like those movies like Freaky and Happy Death Day. It's where they take like an old classic movie's gimmick and then turn it into a slasher movie. I kind of hate that trend, and they did it with Back to the Future for this one. I just thought it was kind of cringe, honestly. The Boogeyman, I thought that was just totally forgettable, like the most forgettable horror movie.
Could have been good, but it's just
could have been good.
It's so fucking boring. Nothing happens.
Yeah, there's just not much to it. I feel like it's because it was based off a short story that Stephen King did. So like, I feel like there just wasn't enough there to make a feature-length movie. Then also there's Something Wrong with the Children, which was a horror movie, I guess like psychological horror that not a lot of people saw. I didn't like it that much. The Meg 2, obviously.
No!
Not good movie. I mean, it's not like terrible. I did not have fun with it. And I was actually like falling asleep in the theater until the end, because then the end gets crazy. And then Scream 6, that might as well be just a disappointing movie, because I really wanted to like it more, obviously. Same with Evil Dead Rise. Really wanted to like it. It just did not work for me. The Flash, Blue Beetle, Ant-Man 3, and Shazam 2. So I stuck all the superhero movies together. Just none of them. Yeah, like I don't even know what was a good superhero movie last year besides Across the Spider-Verse. Maybe that could have been like
Guardians.
the only one. Oh yeah, and Guardians 3. Why do I keep forgetting about that? Because that was like actually really good.
That felt like an actual movie rather than just like a clusterfuck of nonsense.
I think that's why I forgot it was a superhero movie. And then 3 more. These are like my bottom 3 worst movies of the year for me. Barbie. I'll probably be the only person in the world that has that low. Cocaine Bear as well. obviously, and The Exorcist Believer, because it sucked. So that's the worst movies for me.
I don't think I had that many like that were different from you guys, really. Aside from No One Will Save You and that Harold Fry movie.
I think you're the only person, probably like on Instagram for sure, that had even seen that movie.
It's very possible.
No, that's fine, because the next kind of thing I want to move on to was movies that we missed out on.
Mine's going to be a long list.
I have a lot that I still even need to see. Oh, while we're here, I'm going to add something to my best list. I watched Infinity Pool. It was fucking awesome. That's on my best list.
Oh, hell yeah. I also watched The Iron Claw, which made it into my top 5 easily. Like, that movie was amazing.
Yeah, I can go. I have like a list of like shit I still need to see anyway. Poor Things, I'm seeing that on Saturday. That'd probably be in my best list. Past Lives, Hundreds of Beavers, Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. I really want to see that. I've heard that's fantastic. Then there's stuff like fucking Fair Play, which was on Quinn's list. All of Us Strangers, Perfect Days, The Beast, The Contestant, Rotting in the Sun, Air, I still want to see, Anatomy of a Fall, Godzilla -1, Napoleon, Hitman, the Richard Linklater film, Cade, The Tortured Crossing, the new Neil Breen film. Oh, also the Zone of Interest. The Zone of Interest, I'm really fucking looking forward to that.
I guess for me, The Killer, obviously, but I mean, everyone hates it, so I'm not expecting much.
No, not everyone.
I'm the only person who thinks it's mid.
You're literally not at all. Past Lives, Boy and the Heron, Poor Things.
Oh shit, I forgot about Boy and the Heron.
Leave the World Behind, I want to see. May December, The Holdovers. So many. Infinity Pool, Godzilla -1, The Creator, fucking Iron Claw, Maestro, Dream Scenario, Blackberry. Yeah, there's just a lot.
Past Lives, for sure. Poor Things, Godzilla -1, Blackberry, Dream Scenario, and Maestro. We could move on to... it'd be the last movie thing, which would be, just in general, like, doesn't have to be a 2023 release, but, like, any favorite first-time watches.
This doesn't include, like, podcast watches. I just kept that separate. Like, a lot of the films that have been recommended the past couple of months have been fantastic, and it's... Like, to put all the fucking Scorsese movies I watched in this list, it would be just all Scorsese, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't given it a perfect rating yet, but I think Lake Mungo is the one that I watched this year that's probably going to stick with me the most.
Yes.
Like, I really want to rewatch. I genuinely have not stopped thinking about it. I'm constantly listening to the fucking soundtrack, even though you can only find it on fucking YouTube. But that movie really fucking left a mark on me. I thought it was fucking phenomenal. I loved it. Others as well, The Kid Detective, I surprisingly fucking adored. I thought that movie was fantastic. It hit every right beat for me, really. I loved it. The Fabelmans, thought that was fucking fantastic. That's like the year before. It's probably the most recent movie there. Oh, apart from The Quiet Girl as well. That I love that movie. That was just doing catch up on like 2022 shit when I was like early last year. Gummo, The Abyss, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, The Exorcist 3, The Philadelphia Story, Daisies, To Live and Die in LA, and probably the 3 best movies I watched this year overall are Serial Mom, the John Waters movie. I thought that was hysterical. I fucking loved it. The Graduate, finally got around to watching that. That holds up, you know, everyone sings its praises. It's fucking fantastic. I can't think of a single bad thing. No, that's not true. They played the Simon & Garfunkel songs a bit too much. That's the only flaw. Overall, probably my favorite first time watch of the year, like in terms of quality and what it offered for me. Dawn of the Dead, George A. Romero's fucking classic. I thought it was phenomenal. Not the Zack Snyder one.
Hey, you got my hopes up for a split second. I was like, what? Oh, and then I remembered, like, no, he was not happy about that movie.
The original is just timeless. It's awesome.
But these are all, first time watches that pretty much became like instant favorites. Pretty much almost the whole Rocky franchise right off the bat. I watched the whole Rocky. I love those movies. Rocky 5 is the only kind of rough one. I don't hate it, but it's you know, the black sheep.
I probably put Rocky 2 on my list as well. I forgot about that.
Oh, nice.
Forgot that I watched them all early this year as well, but Rocky 2 is probably my favorite sequel.
Black Orpheus, I saw that. I didn't really know much about it. It's an older movie from like the 70s or 60s or 70s, I think. And that was really good. Demolition with Jake Gyllenhaal, I really loved that. Amadeus, I loved it. The Humans, I with Steven Yeun and I don't know, it's a whole cast, but I really, really liked The Humans. Like, I actually gave it like 5 stars. It's fucking awesome. Close Encounters of a Third Kind. This movie with William H. Macy that I feel like not a lot of people have seen, but it's called Edmund. I watched that. That movie it's just like a dark humor, dark psychological thriller. If I had to describe it, it's like American Psycho meets After Hours. A little bit of American Psycho, but very much After Hours. It's easy to compare stuff to After Hours, but I'm like, legit, like, this is you guys have to fucking watch this movie. It's really something special. This movie from Brian De Palma called Hi Mom with Robert De Niro. It's one of his earlier movies, and it was also another really dark but hilarious movie. Probably my favorite Brian De Palma, which says a lot.
Really?
Yeah, even more than like Carrie, and I need to rewatch Blowout, but I love Carrie. And
I fucking love Blowout.
5 Easy Pieces, which is like a Jack Nicholson movie from the 70s. I loved that. Lady Vengeance from Park Chan-wook. Really am glad that I loved it as much as I did. Few more, and they're all from Wong Kar-wai. I watched Fallen Angels, Chungking Express, and In the Mood for Love, and I gave them all 5 stars.
I have like not that many, but I don't think I'll like separate them by whether they were watched for the podcast or not, because there's not that many regardless. Lump these 3 together. Stoker, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, and Lady Vengeance, all great. The Fisher King I really liked. It's a really, really good movie. It's really like out there, and it was a bit much on first watch. I want to rewatch it again and see how I feel, but I think it could like become a favorite in the future, honestly. It's really, really unique and interesting. Creepshow was a lot of fun. Jane Eyre I liked a lot too. Phantom Thread, The Happening was awesome.
Hell yeah, it was.
The Naked Gun, that was a good one. The remake of Last House on the Left, not the original. I did like that one quite a bit. Joint Security Area.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. That was fucking
dude.
awesome.
That was a great movie.
Children Who Chase Lost Voices I really liked. Return to Oz, that was a lot of fun. I guess we could put Fateful Findings in there, why not?
Fuck yes, we can, dude. What about I Am Here Now?
Not as good, but
Oh, bro, come on.
it wasn't as good. Fateful
Findings.
Findings that was something else.
You're a hater, man. You're a fucking hater. I thought I knew you.
No, remember all the laptops? Like, come on.
Yeah, but remember Jesus? Remember Neil Breen Jesus?
He's more of an alien. 12 Angry Men and Dog Day Afternoon. Those were bangers. It Man 2 was fun.
That's true. That was a really fun movie.
It was actually fun, yeah. Definitely flawed, and my god, what's his name? Twister? Oh my god.
Twister. But it was a massive improvement on the first, honestly.
Yeah.
In like almost every way.
Shockingly.
Just embrace the silliness. It was good. Also, Army of Darkness was good. Didn't love it. It's my
nice.
least favorite in the trilogy, but it was still like really fun.
Yeah, move on.
Not American movie.
You should fucking get off this podcast right
Nausicaa,
fucking
Valley
now.
of the Winds, The Wind Rises, Princess Mononoke, Lost in Translation, Pulse, King of Comedy, After Hours, Bringing Out the Dead, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and Muppets Christmas Carol. I'm done.
Yes!
Ended it
Best
on the
movie of the
Muppets.
year.
It's the last movie I watched last year, so that was good.
Yeah. Next, I thought we could move on to TV because it's similar, to movies. Move on to.
Oh, lovely.
I didn't watch a whole lot of TV, but I mean, I've got a little list. You don't have to have finished the entire like season or series. I mean, if you don't want to.
Yeah, this is all going to be stuff that I've started and not continued.
Yeah.
So
The 3 I finished were Rewatch of Fleabag, one of my favorite shows ever, love it. And the 2 I finished were Gen V and Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, which I liked very much. They were both very good shows. I thought they were both fun. I think the most TV watching I've done this year was just watching House, which I was fucking going wild on for a while, and I just stopped halfway through season 2. Like, it's a cute little show. It's fun. It gets a bit old after a while. Oh shit, no, sorry, 4 shows. The best show I watched overall this year, The Beatles Get Back. That was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that was.
I love that.
I forget that that's a show. I mean, it just feels like one long movie, kind of, you know?
As a Beatles fan, it gave me everything I wanted. In terms of stuff I started but didn't finish, I started watching The Curse. I fucking loved it. I'm like 7 or 8 episodes behind, but the first 2 episodes were fucking phenomenal, and I can't wait to see more of it. Sopranos, which I'm like off and on with, even though it's like one of the fucking greatest things I've ever seen, pretty much. Like every episode is just like, this is fucking awesome, and then it's just like, oh, I don't watch it for like months, and then I watch another episode, it's like, this fucking rocks. Yellow Jackets is also pretty good. I'm slowly working my way through that. I started watching Snuffbox with Liam, which is fun. Really funny show. We started watching Jam together. That's one of the fucking weirdest fucking things I've ever seen. I love it so much.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Catterick, which we watched the first couple episodes of. That was very fun.
I'll just get through the ones that I like started, didn't continue, but I do want to. Fargo I started. That was like really, really good for a while,
Nice.
and I really want to get back on it. I started this show called Beforeigners. That was interesting. I watched like 2 episodes, and now I don't know if I want to go back or not. I don't know.
Never heard of it.
Neither have I.
Well, the reason I watched it was because Krista Kassonen's in it, and we were going to have her on the podcast.
Yeah. I remember. I mean, there's still a chance.
I think that's dead and buried, honestly. I don't know, but we'll see. Also started True Detective, which was really good for a while. And
hell
I
yeah.
really want to go back to that. I'm loving McConaughey's character.
He makes the show for me. That character alone just makes the show.
Yeah.
Well, that season.
I also started Escape at Dannemora, which was pretty interesting. But I think I only watched like 1 episode of that. Servant, really good.
Oh, yeah.
Still need to continue that. Also The Outsider, which is like a show, like a mini-series show. I think it's based on a Stephen King novel. Yeah, and it's got Jason Bateman, a couple of other people. It's really interesting so far, but it's like kind of, it feels like it's just edging me for ages. Like, it's like, get to the point, like get to this twist, because it's like, it's really dragging it out so far. I'll just rush through these as well. I started The Bear, Atlanta, The Sopranos, Beef. I like almost finished Nathan For You when I was in Tokyo with Julia. We watched a lot of that. And it got a lot better as it went. I think the first season was just like really rough for me trying to get used to Nathan's quirks and shit, but like I think once you get used to it, and he starts toning it down a little bit towards the later seasons, like, so yeah, I like that.
Did you watch The Rehearsal this year? Last year, sorry.
That's a good point. I did. The Rehearsal was great. I like it more than Nathan For You, definitely. It's still imperfect for me. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10 as a season overall, but it had some like fucking amazing moments that I loved. There's also like one little thing. I'll just finish it off with this, but I did watch it in series, 3 seasons, and it was Heathrow, Britain's busiest airport.
What the fuck?
What?
I don't know what that is. It's literally just watching people operate an airport.
Sopranos, fuck no. I want to learn.
I
want to know the inner workings of Heathrow Airport.
Probably my favorite show of last year, and honestly like what became one of my favorite shows in general, but Beef. Everybody all around was amazing. It made me love Steven Yeun even more. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was like unpredictable. Another show I also watched, season 4. I finished Servant because the final season of Servant came out last year. It's sad that it's over, but I mean I'm glad they didn't draw it out too long, because you can only do so much with this premise, honestly. Even though the show gets crazier and crazier and kind of strains credibility like as you go along, gets more and more, I almost want to say supernatural. That's not spoiling anything because it's Shyamalan, but like it's still a great show, great ending. I was happy with it. Barry season 4. Barry was another show that ended last year. Also a great ending to a great show. Barry definitely became one of my favorite shows. Hilarious, dark humor, action, whatever you want to call it. And another show, it didn't end, I guess, but it was like the most recent season that I watched. But Black Mirror season 6, by far the most like divisive season so far. I saw a lot of people saying like, what happened to this show? This isn't Black Mirror. Some of the episodes I do agree with them. Like there are episodes that stick out like a sore thumb. And it's like, this is not really Black Mirror. This belongs on like another anthology show. What was it called? Beyond the Sea, with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett. Fucking loved that episode. I binged the shit out of this. It came out last year. By far far the most underrated show. I will say underrated because like I don't see hardly anybody else talking about it. Pretty much it's like a reality TV / like I want to say prank show, but it's called Jury Duty, and it's got James Marsden.
Yeah.
This was the biggest surprise ever. Like I don't even know why I started the first episode. I thought it was gonna be dumb. It's got so much heart, it's got so much comedy, and it's basically really quick. The premise is like so it's a jury for like a court proceeding or whatever. Every member of the jury is a paid actor. They're actors, but they're not like super well known. Besides James Marsden, he's the only famous one in there. But they have one random guy that actually got selected for jury duty, and he has no idea that everyone around him is an actor, including James. He only recognizes James Marsden, but even him, he's like, "Do I reckon? Like I might have seen something you were in." Like he didn't really know him that well. The show gets kind of crazier and crazier, just like the ridiculous stuff that happens with this court case and like all the stuff they have to go through, and they just like keep this guy thinking that this is a real thing, and it's just at the end it just like that's gotta fuck with your head so much, but it was so hilarious. It was so well done. So yeah, definitely check that out. It's like a quick easy watch. It's like super quick. Still 2023 releases, but this is a disappointing show. Actually, I didn't finish it, but Swarm, there's this show called Swarm on Amazon Prime, created by Danny Glover, which got me excited, and it kind of has its like Atlanta vibes.
Did you mean Donald Glover?
Donald Glover. Yeah, Donald Glover.
Did you say
Damn
Danny?
it.
Yeah,
I said Danny. I said Danny. It's just I didn't finish it yet. I feel like it was trying a little too hard to be edgy and quirky and like kind of weird. And it's just the main protagonist. She's not really a likable character at all. So I just couldn't get into it, and it was really disappointing. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. Like honorable mention, it was a good show. I didn't love it like those other shows I said, but The Last of Us season 1, I didn't like love it, but I thought it was pretty good. Okay, I started Severance. That is really, really good so far. I need to finish it. And Invincible, started that too. I still need to finish it.
I really want to watch that.
I started Chainsaw Man, that anime show, last year. That was actually like really good, but I need to pick it back up. I also binge watched some House, just like Keelan, randomly.
Hell yeah.
What? Yeah, it's just a great show. Like it's just like I only watch it for
when it hits, it hits.
When it hits, it hits.
When it hits,
when it's good, it's good. But when it's like some episodes are just kind of dumb, but I still only watch it for Hugh Laurie. Like he carries the show. If you didn't have him as the main guy, I don't think I would even care about the show. Last show I definitely want to mention, I finished Better Call Saul with Kath. We tried to watch episodes like, when she would visit, then we'd watch through a lot of episodes. Like in Arizona, we watched through a lot, and it was fun. Obviously, I'm not even going to bring up Breaking Bad because I hate comparing them. It's a great show on its own.
At a certain point, it just comes into its own without the Breaking Bad.
It does.
Without the Breaking Bad connection, it just becomes its own fucking character drama, and it's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's tied for like my favorite show of all time.
Really?
I love Better Call Saul. Yeah.
You guys will probably have a lot for these categories, I'm guessing, but albums, talking about music, can start off if we want just talking about 2023 releases. Can start with start with best. Worst? Sure.
I only have the one. Zig by Poppy. I fucking hated it. It was awful.
It's awful?
I hated it. It was so fucking bland and boring, and the fucking lyrics were cringe as shit.
I'm gonna listen to it.
And it's just, I could not get behind it. It was just very fucking mid. I like a lot of Poppy's albums. This is the first that I've just been like, no, this isn't fucking it, man. This is fucking awful.
I will say it's her weakest. It's her weakest. I'll agree on that.
By a fucking landslide. Holy shit. There weren't even any tracks that I thought were like, that's all right. Like if I, like in my music board review, I put like The Attic as my favorite track. If I had to pick one, it didn't do anything for me. I didn't like it.
The Age of Pleasure by Janelle Monáe, really didn't like that at all. Very cringe. Guts by Olivia Rodrigo, awful. Fucking terrible album. I'm ashamed that my best friend likes it.
I thought it was very fun. I liked it a lot. I thought it was good.
It's not fun, it's terrible. It's so generic and so basic.
She's doing what Avril Lavigne did 20 years ago, and she's doing it very, very well. And that's what I appreciate about it. But I like pop punk in general, and I think she did a very good job at making very bubblegummy, very catchy pop punk.
Another one would be A Kiss for the Whole World by Enter Shikari. That was fucking abysmal. Terrible album. Don't listen to Enter Shikari. I've heard all their albums. They can't make music. They're terrible. Don't Get Too Close by Skrillex. Unlistenable. It was just so fucking bad. I didn't like Red Moon and Venus by Kali Uchis. I wouldn't really mind if anyone else liked it that much because, you know, she is popular. She has an audience, but that one was just so weak compared to her other stuff. I didn't like The Art of Forgetting by Caroline Rose, which was quite a surprise for me because I've loved her first two albums, but this one just didn't really have anything that I took away. Exit Simulation by Nicey Blues. I think I heard about it through like Pitchfork posting about it or something, and that's what I get for trusting Pitchfork, I guess. I gave it like a 2 out of 10. I hated it. It was awful. And 10,000 Gex by 100 Gex. Very bad.
I don't have a worst album. I just have one disappointing album, and I didn't hate it, but man, didn't like it that much, and that was 72 Seasons by Metallica. It's really disappointing for me because, I mean, it's like tied for my favorite band. It's really close to me, and yeah, this new album's just I really hate the direction they're going in. Like this modern whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. It's just too generic and like unmemorable. Not a single song. I don't remember a single song from it. So yeah, it's really just disappointing coming from Metallica.
It's hard to get disappointed because at this point it's just like, oh yeah, this is just like a newer Metallica album.
Oh, like it's what you've come to expect.
Like, yeah, I can't remember the last album I really liked from them was probably the Black Album. Like everything else since has been like,
no way, sorry. Not a single thing from the 2000 like 21st century at all.
What was it? Death Magnetic was all right. That's probably their best in the.
I love
that's
Death
probably
Magnetic.
their best in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
72 Seasons was all right as well. Like, there's a few really good songs in it, honestly, but it's way too fucking long. It is so fucking long. It does not need to be that long.
That's kind of why I like Death Magnetic, though. It wasn't, like, super long. It was still, like, I don't know. I had a lot of memorable songs from that, but Hardwired to Self-Destruct, I liked, like, half of the songs, and the other half I didn't really like. It had some great songs, but it's just a lot of filler, too. And I feel like they took the style that I didn't like about that album and, like, made it into this entire album, kind of. Okay, the best albums... I know I'm not going to be the only one to mention this, but This Is Why by Paramore. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast, I feel like, at this point. It's a great album. Surprised me because I've never been a huge Paramore fan. Utopia by Travis Scott, even though I personally it's lower on like the Travis Scott end for me. Like I don't think it's like his best. I still liked it quite a bit. Desire, I Want to Turn Into You. I know we all liked that. By Caroline Polachek.
Banger. Love that album.
For All the Dogs by Drake. I gotta throw in For All the Dogs. People.
Oh, come on.
Dude, I Will Live and Die by my boy. I know, because a lot of people have been hating on this album, and I gotta stand up for it. It's a fun album. It's too long, though. It's too fucking long. Similar to what you're saying about Metallica, this is Drake's new problem. Ever since 2016 with Views, his albums have been like...
Has he dropped an album fucking shorter than 90 minutes in the past 10 years?
Yeah, in the past 10 years, yeah. But probably not in the past, like, 8 or 7 years. Yeah, so it's ever since 2016, all of his albums have kind of been way too long. Yeah, I still liked it. There's still a lot of fun to be had. There's a lot of bangers on there. Listen to First Person Shooter. That song is it's a banger. A Great Chaos by Ken Carson. I'm probably the only one that listened to this. Really weird album. It's a really weird style of rap or trap or whatever you want to call it. It's super distorted and digital and kind of chaotic like the album name says. I for some reason liked it, but I would not blame people for calling it complete trash if they listen to it. It's that kind of weird of an album, like unaccessible. And then The Pink Tape by Lil Uzi Vert. I guess I just listened to a lot of new rap albums. I don't know. But I actually liked The Pink Tape.
I've only heard his Chop Suey cover.
Oh, that's like the worst song on this fucking album too. I thought that's like the worst song.
It was just like a cover over like a backing track of the original fucking song. It was weird. It was just like, why did you do this?
No, it is. He's a really weird person. He makes weird decisions. Yet another album that I thought was kind of too long though. I thought that album was too long, but there was definitely some bangers.
I remember seeing like a Facebook or a Twitter post from like Serge Tankian, who's the vocalist for System of a Down, just reposting the Lil Uzi cover, and he was like, I don't understand this, but hell yeah, dude.
It's literally, yeah, it's just straight up cover. It's like barely even switched up, to be honest. These are good. They're not like up to the level as those other albums I just mentioned. I liked that 10,000 Gex album that Liam hated. I thought it was.
I'm in the minority here.
I love that album.
I don't know if you're, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
I'm definitely in the minority. People love these guys, and I just don't get it.
I think I wasn't thrown off by their like overly quirkiness shit. Like I mean I can see how they would come off like that. I don't know. It's unique to me. I haven't heard a lot of people like with their sound.
Listen to The Garden. They do what they do, but better.
That's not a fair comparison.
It is a fair comparison.
They're completely different.
They are very similar. They have a lot of similarities.
There's two people.
Oh my god, fuck off.
I listened to the latest Sparks album. Nothing is as good as they say it is.
You got that wrong on Music Board. That's not the name of the album. The name of the album is The Girl is Crying in Her Latte.
The Girl is Crying in Her Latte.
Oh shit. So I only rated the single? That's what I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta fix that. No, the Girl is Crying in Her Latte, or whatever the album name is.
That's the one.
It was good. Yeah, Sparks is I like a lot of their stuff, but I don't like a lot of their stuff. It's hit or miss, but yeah, it was good. Zig by Poppy. We can move on from that. We already talked about that, I guess.
Zig by Poppy was my worst album of the year, but my second worst album of the year, by technicality, was The Girl is Crying in Her Latte. I thought it was okay. It's probably my least favorite Sparks album at this point, honestly.
Damn. And then my only other one was Memento Mori by Depeche Mode. For some reason, I listened through like all the Depeche Mode albums last year and ended with their most recent one. I like them. They're pretty good.
I'm not really ranking any of these or anything. I don't even know what I would call my favorite album of 2023 right now, so I'll just mention the ones I did like. Really loved Ugly by Slow Tie. I actually think it's his best album so far. Utopia by Travis Scott. The Fool by Jane. Chris Black, Changed My Life by Portugal the Man. I actually love that. I think it's their best so far. This Is Why by Paramore. Petro Dragonic Apocalypse by King Giz. Quest for Fire by Skrillex was actually quite good. The first one of his 2 albums. Desire Pathway by Screaming Females I loved. And it's very sad that they've broken up. Gonna miss them. Desire I Want to Turn Into You by Caroline Polachek. We've already talked about that. Yeah, I guess The Girl is Crying in Her Latte by Sparks, because I did like it. It feels weird saying it because of how many albums they have, but like, yeah, it feels like their weirdest album to me. I don't know if anyone else feels that way.
It's definitely one of their strangest, yeah.
But
it's all over the place. It's very messy.
It is very messy, but I kind of like that about it. And I like that a lot of the sounds are really different for them, I think. Like, as soon as I heard like the production on Veronica Lake, I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
Veronica Lake is my favorite song off that album. That song
really
is
good,
awesome.
yeah.
But then you get the title track and it's like almost noise. It's like fucking Sparks doing noise music. It's so fucking weird.
It feels kind of similar to Little Beethoven, kind of. Yeah, just within the repetition and stuff, and like
Little Beethoven was a lot more orchestral, wasn't it? Like that was a really orchestral album.
It was like also a really repetitive album.
I mean,
it
is repetitive, but I just mean like the fucking, the way it opens with those like fucking very harsh synthesizer noises.
Yeah, I kind of like that though.
What the fuck are we doing here?
Did you see the music video to that song?
The one with Cate Blanchett.
It's just
the one with Kate. That makes it even weirder when you watch that music video. It's just really random.
Yeah, I have 23 albums that I really, really liked from last year, and I'll just rattle off like the first 13 or so. And then these are ranked, by the way, because I'm a fucking freak for ranking things. So yeah, 23, we've got BB Angel by Tinashe. I like that album a lot. The Grey in Between by Jerome's Dream. Scaring the Hoes by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We by Mitski. My Back Was a Bridge for You to Cross by Anoni and the Johnsons. Fucking tongue twister of a title. Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. Maps by Billy Woods and Kenny Segal. Probably one of my favorite rap albums of the year. I love that album. 3D Country by Geese. Ontological Mysterium by Horrendous. Fucking Girl with Fish by Feeble Little Horse. The Record by Boy Genius. But Here We Are by Foo Fighters. And Live at Bush Hall by Black Country New Road. So that's 23 to 11, and my top 10 is similar to some of your guys actually as well. So a 10, Petrodragonic Apocalypse. I'm not saying the full fucking title, by King Giz.
Go on, say it.
Petrodragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night, and Annihilation of Planet Earth, and the Beginning of Merciless Damnation. There we go.
It is a banger. Whenever
Giz does like a full metal album, I'm all in. I'm all in. This was fucking amazing. There's like very little downtime on it. It's so intense. It's so heavy. It's so fucking textured and beautiful. I loved it.
Fucking love Motor Spirit. That shit is so good.
I don't think there's a track I don't like.
Well, yeah,
it's
but,
all
that
just like
one,
consistent. They all like.
Keep listening to it. It's so fucking good.
Number 9. Did you know there's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard by Lana Del Rey? I really, really loved it. It's like the first Lana Del Rey album that I've been like, this is great. I finally see, the talent that she has to offer, and I thought it was great.
I really wish I liked it more.
Yeah, and I know Liam isn't huge on it, but I found a lot to really fucking dig into on it.
I think I might like it more on re-listen, but the other night I was like re-listening to Paris, Texas from that album, and I started crying.
Oh.
Sorry.
It is like a deeply personal album. Like, it is raw as fuck.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of great tracks on it. Like, it is very long, but I didn't feel the length personally. Like, there's
a lot I
tracks like
appreciate about
Kintsugi.
it. I think it's a really personal album, and I like that, and it has like its own atmosphere to it too.
The album feels like its album cover, and I love albums like that. Like, I know it's just like a close up on her face and it's black and white or whatever, but I get the vibes of it. Yeah, there's like tracks like Kintsugi, Candy Necklace, A&W is fucking. I love that song so much. It's fantastic.
I really didn't like that song. I don't know what everyone else is thinking.
I think it's fucking fantastic. I love the switch up at the end.
I just thought that switch up was
great.
so like cringe and out of nowhere. I was like, why?
Another deeply personal album that made me cry actually was Javelin by Sufjan Stevens, which is like A Crow Looked at Me, but for 2023, because it's about, Sufjan Stevens' partner who passed away, I think in 2022 or 2021.
Oh.
But it's more hopeful than A Crow Looks at Me, let's say. A lot of very deep, intimate elements about it. And especially with how it talks about like the relationship, I found it very fucking emotional and very honest and raw, and I thought it was great. I love that album so much. 7, we've got 10,000 Gex by 100 Gex. I think it is fucking really cool. I love it. It's so much fun.
I will say I don't blame you for Doritos and Fritos. That song is really good.
Oh, the fucking intro is, it's so cool. Number 7, we have Everything Harmony by the Lemon Twigs, which is gorgeous. It's so much fun. It's so cute. I love the songwriting on it. The melodies are all fucking, they're top notch, and it's just catchy as hell. And yeah, I would highly recommend that album. It's very, very fucking good. Number 5, we have Hell Mode by Jeff Rosenstock. I love it. I love Jeff Rosenstock. I'm seeing him in like 2 weeks, I think, but like fucking, I can't wait to see him. Love that album. He's one of the most consistent punk artists working today. It could go up higher on the list with more re-listens, because everything I got out of it, it stuck with me. It's really stuck with me a lot. It's very catchy. It's probably his most hopeful album, but it's also kind of about like, growing older and like how shit that can be, but it's also like, hey, we can do this, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's great. Number 4, Desire, I Want to Turn Into You, Caroline Polachek. We've talked about it already. Fucking fantastic album. One of the best produced pop albums I've heard in so long. The songwriting's fantastic. I love the lyrics on it. Number 3, We're Still Here by the Hers Collective, which is probably the most fucking intense album I've heard last year. It's half an hour of just pure grindcore fucking goodness. I love it. I listened to it again today, and it hits. And it's an easy for me listen, because I'm a freak who likes loud music, but it's fucking great. Number 2, Dog's Body by Model Actress, probably one of the most unique albums I've heard all year. Can't get enough of it, and I can't fucking wait for them to put out another album. I want to see what they do next so badly. It's phenomenal. And yeah, number 1, This Is Why, Paramore. No surprise. I've listened to it 21 fucking times. It's great. Can't say enough good things about it. Best album of the year.
Hell
Best
yeah.
album of all time.
Oh god.
I re-listened to it today.
And
Still good.
I also re-listened to it today.
Of course you did.
As he
'Cause of
does
course I
every
did.
day.
It's a daily ritual.
If there's any of those albums that surprised you guys, like what was the most surprising album? Because I had one that I didn't even mention so far, but it was good. The most surprising album of the year for me was Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty.
I've heard the first track from that. It was awesome. I really want to listen to that album.
I call it surprising because I've never been a Lil Yachty fan. I always found his voice kind of grating. His style of rap and trap and whatever. So the fact that like a rap artist I didn't really like dropped like an actually good like psychedelic rock album out of nowhere, it's just really surprising, and it surprised a lot of people. So like I wish he would make more music like this and not like the rap music that he's kind of going back to. So
like I've said, I've only heard the first track, but like it's surprising that it is surprising that it's good. Like,
Yeah.
that first track is amazing. Like the Black Seminole, I think it's called.
Black Seminole.
That track is fucking. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It is fantastic.
And there's
even
lot.
his auto-tuned voice works really fucking well with the psychedelic elements of the track. It's really fucking good. I really want to listen to the album.
It does, and it really stays that good throughout, in my opinion. So yeah, you definitely should give it a shot.
Yeah, for me, the most surprising album of the year was Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. I really like that album.
Because you didn't know if you'd like it.
I liked it. Yeah, I like Guts a lot. I think it's a good album. Shut up, I don't care.
It's so bad. I guess like the only two like surprising ones for me would probably be it'd have to be Scarlet by Doja Cat.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't expect to like it at all, and Ugly by Slow Tie. With his first two albums, they're like good and everything, but they didn't really have much of like a theme or flow for me that like really grabbed me. But this one really did, because it was a lot more like personal, and I just loved the lyrics and the production. I thought it was awesome.
Was there any 2023 album releases that you did not get a chance to listen to that you wanted to? Because I only have two that I wrote
so
down.
Many, we did not have the time.
One big one for me, I really did want to listen to Scaring the Hoes by Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia. Really wanted to listen to that.
I'm not going to name all the ones I want to fucking listen to, but the ones that I'd be most excited to hear were like the new Sprain album, The Lamb as Effigy, which I've heard is fucking amazing. The new Lil Yachty I really want to listen to. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Census Designated by Jane Remover. I've had that recommended to me by a couple of people. I've heard that's fucking great. The new King Cruel, the new Slow Thigh. And the new Slow Dive as well, George Clanton, lots of stuff. The new King Gizzard, I had King Giz in my top 10. There's still another fucking one I have to listen to. HMLTD, Shoo Shoo, PJ Harvey, Young Fathers, AJJ, One Tricks Point Never. There's lots. There's so much music.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Pretty much same, but the only ones like for me that you didn't already name would be The Streets and Steven Wilson.
For the final thing in our music section, what were some favorite albums, if you put any down, that were first-time listens for you last year? That didn't have to be 2023 releases. Oh, I narrowed it down to just... I know, I already have. I kind of have a long list, too.
Yeah, I can just rattle mine off there, since I have a pretty short list, but there are ones that I did really love and have stuck with me quite a bit. Pang by Caroline Polachek. This is ranked, by the way, because, yeah, I rank shit like fucking hell. Yeah, so 10, Pang by Caroline Polachek. I like Desire a lot more, but Pang it's great. High Risk Behavior by The Chats. They're really, really fucking... just a really solid punk band. Very basic punk, but they do it very, very fucking well. Because I'm Young and Arrogant and Hate Everything You Stand For by Machine Girl, which is probably one of the more out there albums I heard last year. It's very all over the place and it has like breakbeat beats and shit like that. It's fucking great. I really, really liked it. It's very ADHD music, but... whatever, loved it. Chloe in the Next 20th Century by Father John Misty. I didn't expect to like it. I ended up really loving it. I loved the direction he went on it, and a lot of the songs have really stuck with me. Yeah, so number 6, Science Fiction by Uncle, which Liam recommended to me. I fucking love that album. It's so great. It's great and dynamic, and the features are all fucking stellar. There's like features from fucking Tom York. There's features from fucking, I think it's which Beastie Boy is it? One of the Beastie Boys anyway. There's lots of fucking great features on it, but it's a very, very worthwhile album. I really enjoyed it a lot. Scream Bloody Gore by Death, which I talked about earlier in this episode. Definitely one of the more essential albums I listened to last year, especially in its context of metal music. I thought it was fucking fantastic. New Romantic by Yukihiro Takahashi. A fucking great electronic album. I really fucking love that. He's a member of YMO. That's their fucking initials. I can't remember the fucking full name of the band. But, you know, there's Ryuichi Sakamoto was in the band as well. But fucking electronic music pioneers, they're fucking great. New Romantic is a fantastic album. I'd highly recommend everyone listen to it. It's fucking great. Number 3, Songs About Leaving by Chris is Weird. I've talked about it on one of the last episodes. I loved it. It's very sad, very fucking slow. My second favorite, well, third favorite, I suppose, non-2023 album I listened to last year was Brighten the Corners by Pavement, which is a blind spot in my music knowledge that I finally got crossed off. I listened to that one Pavement album, but I want to listen to the rest of the discography because that album just gave me everything I fucking wanted. I love that album. It's such great indie rock. If you like 90s indie rock, you've probably already listened to Pavement, but if you haven't, listen to them. And joined for my number 1, we have Carnage by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis and Ghosteen by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. I can't separate them because I give them both 5 stars, and I love them both so fucking much. They're completely different vibes. Like, Carnage is they're both great. I don't know, I'm not going to fucking go in depth on them, but they're both different vibes. Carnage is quite weird. Ghosteen is very beautiful. Love them both. Liam got me Carnage for my birthday. Thank you very much, Liam. I love that album.
No worries.
The best album I heard last year. I'm very happy to own it.
Nice.
I'll try not to take up too much time. There's just a long list that I have to try and just eyeball my way through. Waiting for the World by Wayward was a really good electronic album I discovered. Mutations by Beck, I liked. Double Vanity by Broncho, I like. The first 2 Fred Again albums I really liked. Sea Change by Beck. Diamond Life by Sade or Sade. I don't know how to say her name.
Sade,
that's the one. Yeah. I did like the first Deftones album, Adrenaline. I thought that was quite good. Not perfect or anything, but it was enjoyable.
I want to try and get into them, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get into the whole moaning rock type thing. That's all I've heard from them.
Do it for the guy's voice alone. Like, just hearing his voice on a few songs, his voice is just so fucking...
That's a unique way of describing Deftones. Thank you.
What, moaning rock?
Moaning rock.
But that's, I mean, to me, maybe it's the only... I actually saw them live when they opened for Guns N' Roses, and I didn't even know it was them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I saw that was in 2018, then apparently I didn't even know who Deftones were when I went and saw Guns N' Roses in 2018, and then I later realized, oh, that was Deftones. I didn't, because in the moment I was like, these guys suck, but now I gotta go back and listen now to redeem myself.
If anything, that would have been the thing to go for Guns N' Roses.
And maybe now, for me now, but like then, no, I was like all into that.
There was also 30 Seconds to Mars, like the debut album by them. I actually did like that quite a bit.
Pretty good.
Little Earthquakes by Tori Amos, I really liked. Control by SZA. I have no idea how you're supposed to say her name, honestly.
Oh, SZA?
SZA.
Yeah.
SZA. And Biba Doobie's first album. It's called Fake It Flowers. It was really interesting. Kind of expected it to be more like R&B, soul, kind of just chilled out, but like it became more like rock the more it went on, and I really liked it. The Hurting by Tears for Fears was really good. Down and Out in Paris and London by Autocrats was a really good album and great for a debut. Late Show by The Beaches I really liked too. Yeah, that's probably it.
Nice. I want to listen to Control
yeah.
by SZA. That was one that I've been wanting to listen to.
It's really good. The song Prom is really good. I love that song.
That Kill Bill song is a fucking banger. I love that song.
That's one of my most played songs.
I gotta
now. I
listen to
love
her,
that
so.
song. That song's awesome.
It's so catchy.
It is.
Nice.
It just gets stuck in my head at random moments.
Same.
A little list here, but I'm probably not going to talk in depth about them or anything, but if you want to jump in to say something, you can. 2 albums by David Bowie, Young Americans and Let's Dance.
Love Young Americans.
Yeah, not Let's Dance? That's a great album.
The hits are great, but like the
Yeah.
deep cuts in that album, they just don't do it for me.
I just love, like, not only Let's Dance, but like China Girl, I think it's what it's called. I love that song so
China
much.
Girl's awesome.
I love China Girl.
It's a classic.
It's so good. Hot Rats by Frank Zappa. Fucking yeah. I saw that you
one of my favorite
listened
albums
to
of
that.
all time.
It's so good.
It's one of my favorite albums. I adore it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was listening to that on repeat like a lot. 10 by Pearl Jam. I finally listened to from front to back. Like, I've only heard the biggest hits off of it, but I love Pearl Jam.
If Deftones is moan rock, then fucking
Pearl Jam is like
fucking mumble rock.
I was about to say it's like mumble rock, but I kind of like it for that. I like how meme worthy and like goofy it is, you know, like
I love
Come
10.
to
I
Australia,
think that's a
they
great
all love
album.
them over here.
Pearl Jam?
Yeah.
I just find it hard to not love Pearl Jam. I just find it hard to not love that style. It's just
They're a fun band.
yeah, they're really fun.
Have you ever seen the clips of like Eddie Vedder just like climbing the scaffolding like during concerts and shit?
No, I haven't.
The
seen
man is
any.
like a monkey.
Really? Number One in Heaven by Sparks, which is
Hell yeah.
easily my favorite Sparks album. Nothing But the Best by Frank Sinatra and My Way by Frank Sinatra. Listen through some Sinatra for some reason. It's just a
Hell
fucking
yeah, dude.
vibe. I love Frank Sinatra. Invisible Touch by Genesis. 444 by Jay-Z was a nice surprise. I actually liked it.
That's a great album.
Yeah, it was really good.
I think that was on my 20 whatever year come out list.
Sundown by Gordon Lightfoot. Take the Heat Off Me by Boney M. The self-titled album from LCD Sound System. Fucking love that album. Yeah, along with like the rest of his albums. I mean, I liked them all, but that one specifically, I think I like the most. 3 Depeche Mode albums: Music for the Masses, A Broken Frame, and Speak and Spell. I really liked. I think that was like their first 3 albums too.
I did listen to Speak and Spell last year. Their first one. I didn't really like it that much. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like it was really repetitive after a while, but I hope I like the
little
rest of
bit.
that stuff, because I've heard some like tracks from later albums and they sound like they'd be right up my alley. So
I wouldn't compare them to Sparks, but in the way that like I feel like there's an era for like everybody type thing. Like they keep the same kind of sound, but like they definitely switch things up enough to where you'll probably find something you like. Yeah, and then 2 Black MIDI albums, Hellfire and Cavalcade. I think.
Oh, the 2 worst ones.
Yes.
Oh well.
Hey, fuck yourself.
I loved them. I thought they were
Cavalcade
great.
is the worst one, but it's still great.
Yeah, I really liked those.
Their first is the best.
It might be the best.
Hellfire
for
is
me.
the best, actually.
It's so good.
Oh, and then lastly, all of the Bloodhound Gang albums. I listened through
Oh, God.
all of their albums. Hard Off, One Fierce Beer Coaster, Hefty Fine, and Hooray for Boobies. I fucking love
yeah,
them.
let's go.
I think they're so funny. I think they're fun. I think it's so dated, but it's hilarious. And I just think it's the most fun band for me. Like, I just have so much fun listening to them. And genuinely good instrumentals and, like, genuinely good music if you're ignoring the cringy lyrics and stuff. But even the cringy lyrics are fun. So I love them.
A YouTube channel I did like a guessing game, like where you had to guess whether or not a lyric was from a Bloodhound Gang song or a Marilyn Manson song.
Yeah,
It was
Red Letter
genuinely
Media.
Quite difficult.
You're thinking Red Letter.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that too. That was hilarious. It was pretty easy to tell though. Like, I mean, I feel like you can tell when it's a Bloodhound Gang. Sometimes. So I guess I'm assuming the last category can be games. We can get through some games if we want before we
My game is Apex. That's all you need to know.
Apex and
I just
Cyberpunk.
grinded
like,
Apex
right?
all the time. Yeah, I finished Cyberpunk. That's pretty much it, though. Really.
So these were 2023 games, but I beat the Resident Evil 4 remake. I finally beat it. So much fun. It was just a great survival horror game. Out of the 2 survival horror games that came out last year with Dead Space and then Resident Evil 4, I thought Resident Evil 4 was the way better one.
Both remakes of older games.
Both remakes, yeah. That's a
great.
good point. I mean, Dead Space is good, don't get me wrong. That's another one that I'll mention. Like, I finished that. That was a good game. But Resident Evil 4, that I can see why people consider it one of the great horror games of all time, I guess.
Resident Evil 4 Remake is by far my favorite game this year. It's fucking awesome. I'm glad that they made it in a way that you can still go back and play the original and get something different, while also respecting what made the original great and so much fun. But they just expanded on like the great elements of that. Like the original is like very campy, and I like the gunplay in that. I like that you're just like stuck to one location when you're aiming and you're just fucking aiming the stick around. I like that gameplay. It makes it a bit more intense. They did do well to get that intensity back for the remake, and ultimately the remake is the better version. I think it's just phenomenal work.
It is.
I love Resident Evil 4.
It's an amazing. It was really incredible. Very little negative to say about it. There was a time while I was playing where I was like, this is getting a bit repetitive. Like, how many times do I have to get lost from Ashley and then rescue her again? I feel like it happens like 5 times. You know, and also
yeah,
the
that's
length.
just a problem with the original game.
Yeah, and then also the length. Honestly, I feel like it could have been like a chapter or 2 shorter. It could have cut out a couple chapters, to be honest. But other than that, it's a near perfect game. I mean, I have not finished this, and I'm honestly not far into it at all, but I started Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which came out last year. I can already tell it's an improvement on the first game. Like, in terms of just some gameplay stuff, like, I can already tell, and some customizable stuff too. Expanding upon what I love about the first game, which I thought was really good too. The last 2023 release that I'm currently playing, Mortal Kombat 1. I'm fucking loving it. I love Mortal Kombat. I've loved pretty much all their games, but I can already tell this is like their best game in years. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun playing the online, getting through the story mode. Yeah, it's just fun trying to get good with the combos and the fucking characters and all that.
I don't have very many, but I'll just list the more notable ones. Like I said, Resident Evil 4, probably my favorite game of 2023. Fucking fantastic game. I love it so much. I haven't split these up by 2023 and older, by the way, so this is just going to be... Actually, all these games are from the past like 2 or 3 years, so it doesn't matter. The ones I know that are from 2023 anyway. Armored Core 6, I haven't finished it yet, but I put a decent bit of time into it, and I really fucking love it. I think it's a fucking really, really fun. It's by the developers of Dark Souls from Software. It's completely different to Dark Souls, where it's more about fast-paced combat rather than more like defensive combat, which like Dark Souls very much is. But it's a very fun game. You can customize your mech whatever way you want, even if you want to like a fucking Evangelion mech, you can do that. They're very addictive, quite difficult, as well, as to be expected from Software. Love that game. Another one I started, Inscription, which is like a horror. It's a horror card game, which feels weird to say, but it is quite unsettling. It's strangely addictive. It's very fun. Like, it's a roguelike, so you can't really finish it. Well, I suppose there probably is an ending, but I haven't gotten to it yet. But it is a lot of fun. Then there's Baldur's Gate 3, one game of the year. Everyone loves it. I agree. It's fantastic. I'm nowhere near done finished with it. I barely fucking scratched the surface with it even, but it's worth all the hype. It's fucking fantastic. The last game from 2023, well, Inscription wasn't 2023, it came out a while ago, but whatever. The last game I put a decent bit of time into is RoboCop Rogue City, which is fucking awesome. I love it. It's so fun. It's so much fun. Like, you can go around and give fucking people parking tickets. Like, hell yeah. This is what I want to do as RoboCop. It's great. The shooting is fun. Like, they got back all the old voice actors. I think they got Karen Allen to do, what's her name? They got Peter Weller to do RoboCop, which is great. He sounds old as fuck, but it works. It's a fun game. It's goofy. If you like RoboCop, you like RoboCop Rogue City. It's a solid little game, which is rare for like a licensed game. Neon White overall is probably my favorite game I played all this year. It is so addictive. It is everything I want from a game, apart from the story being fucking dog shit. The story is awful, but the gameplay loop is so addictive. It's all about movement. It's all about it's basically puzzle platformer first person shooter that also serves as a speedrunning game. It's easy to understand. It's very addictive. I love Neon White. I fucking put so much time into that. And Cyberpunk, I finished that finally this year. Fucking great game, especially now with all the updates and shit. I still want to put time into Phantom Liberty. Cyberpunk as it is, great game. And the final one, which I mentioned, which I started in 2023, but on the way to finishing it, it's the game, it's the game I'm playing right now. Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I did not expect to like too much. I've always wanted to get into the Yakuza games, but Yakuza Like a Dragon is the only one that I was like, nah, I'll give that one a miss. But for some reason, I bought it during the Steam winter sale, and the main turn off for me was turn-based combat. I fucking hate turn-based combat, but I've put 30 hours into Yakuza Like a Dragon, and it's probably on its way to becoming like one of my favorite games of all time. It's so much fun. I don't even know how to begin to describe it. It's very goofy. It's very silly, but it also takes itself seriously, but not in an obnoxious way. It takes its goofiness seriously, which is what makes it fun. It's not fun when you fucking try to be like, oh yeah, isn't that so goofy? But they just don't draw attention to it. It's just like, yeah, this is in the fucking universe. Get over it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Even to people who don't like turn-based combat, I'd say give it a chance, because it changed my mind on turn-based combat. It's actually a lot of fun. And yeah, I look forward to eventually beating it. It's like a 100-hour long game, but I'm fucking in it. I love it.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really stuck with me.
Oh, really?
I liked it.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like I played that. Yeah. I had fun. The combat's good. I have no drive to go back to it, really.
Yeah, I feel like that's how I'll feel, to be honest. I mean, I look forward to it, but I don't know.
In the moment, it's a very fun game, but there's nothing overly memorable about it. It's just more Spider-Man, and I'm fine with that, but I just wish there was something more to it.
Oh yeah, I guess I played Miles Morales.
These are the non-2023 games. I already played through some of these, but I played through them all again. Like, from front to back, I played through all 3 of the Hitman games from IO Interactive or Square, Cynics, whoever did them.
Very fun games.
Played 1.5.
I've played 2.
A lot of stealth games, from Assassin's Creed to Metal Gear Solid and stuff, but like, out of all the stealth games I played, this is like the best. I just love the amount of player freedom that there is. Like, there's like endless ways to go about doing what you're doing. I just love the creativity and like the kind of sandbox game nature of it. And it's just so much fun, and that allows for like a lot of replayability. Like, I can just go back on a whim and just like play any of the levels, and it gets so much more fun. If I was to rank them, I think like Hitman 2 is probably my favorite, then Hitman 1, then Hitman 3, but they're all still fucking top notch. I love them.
Did you ever play Blood Money?
No, I've watched Blood Money, but I've never played it. Yeah, and then I started playing Doom 2016. Fuck, man. Yeah. Dude, that's one of the most fun shooters I've ever played. For a game that came out in 2016, the graphics I'm playing it on the PS5, and the graphics still look better than some of the games that even come out now. And yeah, I can't wait to play more of that. And then a couple more. Heavy Rain and Elden Ring I've also started last year, but I need to pick up with both of them. Before we get on to listener questions, then we can just talk about the podcast in 2023, I guess.
Well, it was good until we let Keelan in here.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of been downhill.
Just about to say that was obviously the biggest change that we had in 2023.
Pick a least favorite and favorite from your episodes.
You know what? I'll do one favorite from both eras.
Both eras.
Because I probably listened to
Pre-Keelan and post-Keelan era.
I really like the Boast Raid discussion that you guys had. I like that one a lot. That episode was fun.
It was really good. I
like that one.
Yeah.
Local Bo meets his hero. That's my favorite pre-me episode. And then of the ones that I was actually in, I really like doing Murder, Ghosts, and videotapes.
Yeah.
The Halloween one.
Yeah, that was good.
That one was a lot of fun.
What's your least favorite?
Just on a I think it turned out to be a good episode, but a personal standpoint, probably the Christopher Nolan episode, because I just wanted to... I wish I just went and rewatched more, so I'd have more to say about some of the films we talked about.
In terms of my least favorites, I don't think any of these episodes are bad by any means. It's just what I think was maybe the least memorable for me. The Bright Idea episode, I kind of fucked up on that one. That was too much. I'm so glad that we do that stuff at the beginning of the episode now. It was probably fun in the in the moment discussing all that stuff, but not having a central thing really makes me kind of forget the identity of the episode type thing,
Yeah, it's it doesn't really have much there.
Chanwick Chats was fun. The Whale Zone was fun. I really liked talking about the whale. And the Shyamalan episode was definitely fun. I love talking about Shyamalan and ranking his movies and all that.
If I picked a least favorite, it would be Wing Chun, Chaos, and Regret, because the regret is on my part.
Oh, yeah. I suppose.
I feel like I just have to go with that one.
I think it's the most viewed one from this year, though,
isn't it? On YouTube, yeah. I don't get why. Probably one of the best ones from the ones with Keelan, I think, is Happy Weebs. I did like that quite a lot.
I enjoyed the Scorsese one as well.
I was about to say, the Miyazaki and Scorsese were both really good.
I did love the Christmas one. I thought that turned out really well. Galactic Gallivanting is awesome. We had some really good ones. The podcast has been getting a lot better. I do like Across the Speed Force. I thought it was a good episode, despite my opinions not, being the best.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I didn't like The Flash nearly as much, so I can't remember how that discussion really went. The Last House on Don't Buy Grass from the Sun from Glass was just funny. The fact that you had to watch that talking about the original was funny. Yeah, so I don't know, the overall good episodes, and I like all the artwork too. Do you have a favorite artwork out of that year?
Probably Murder, Ghosts, and Videotapes.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
I also really like The Last House on the Left one. That's really cool.
That is kind of cool.
The Whale Zone. There was no literal whale in the movie. Why are you looking at a whale?
I think Galactic Gallivanting is one of the best ones.
Oh, that was a really good one. That actually was really good. I really like The Sad Weebs just because it looks like it's straight out of one of his movies.
I love the Park Chan-wook one.
Yeah, that's really good too. And the Beau is Afraid one, of course, too.
The Wing Chun one. They're all fucking good.
Thank you, Manu.
Yeah, thank you. Let's get on to listener questions. From films around the world, what films are you guys excited to check out in 2024? I can't wait for Robert Eggers' new movie, Nosferatu.
Dune 2?
I'm excited for Dune 2 more now. The new Alex Garland film I'm really excited for. What?
Oh yeah, the Civil War movie. Bong Joon-ho's new movie, Mickey 17. It's Robert Pattinson.
Furiosa. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Challengers, I'm looking forward to. Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah, Love
really
Lies
looking
Bleeding.
Forward to that.
The new Coen brothers.
The new Coen.
Oh, the new Coen.
I think Drive Away Dolls is Ethan Coen, I think. Paddington 3.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
are they doing it?
I hope it is. I hope it isn't shit.
It's gonna be great, don't worry.
I'm optimistic for Terrifier 3.
Oh,
I hope that's
shit.
good.
I can't wait for that. Never mind. I forgot that was coming out. I mean, after Terrifier 2, I don't know how you can't be excited for that.
I'm just worried that it's going to be 2.5 hours again. Just keep the fucking brutality of Terrifier 2. Keep the length of Terrifier 1. Yeah. There we go. That's a fucking movie right there.
I don't mind the length in Terrifier 2, but I get it, I guess.
It's too fucking long.
It felt like a slasher epic, like a big slasher, Terrifier 1's way too short, though. That movie's, not even an hour 10 minutes, it feels like. That's an hour.
Terrifier 2 does have one of the best kills I've ever seen in a horror movie, though, so
it had a lot of the best kills. I mean, a lot of great kills, for sure.
I mean, specific. I guess you can tell which one I'm talking about. That one was fucking sick.
Bedroom scene?
Yeah.
This is definitely the memorable moment for sure.
We hype for Argyle.
Oh, fuck
Argyle.
off.
You looking forward to Argyle, boys?
What the hell's that?
It looks terrible.
Oh.
The new Matthew Vaughn film. It looks awful.
Oh shit. Yeah. Whatever. Matthew Vaughn and Guy, whatever the fuck his name is. No, David Leitch. Not Guy Ritchie. Sorry, not Guy Ritchie. David Leitch. The Fall Guy movie. I did watch the trailer. Yeah, you're right. It kind of looks like a messy piece of shit. I hope it proves me wrong, but after Bullet Train, I'm like, this is just gonna be another cringe action movie.
There's also a whole trilogy of the Strangers movies coming out this year. I keep forgetting that's happening.
Oh shit, that's weird.
They're releasing 3 Strangers movies.
So random
this year.
But hey, I give me more horror, I guess. Let's hope it's good. I don't know. I mean, I didn't love the first movie by any means, but from Campo.reviews, best and worst movies of the year get specific with genres. I guess we already talked about that. Go back and listen. Then also from Anton_KinoLove, your favorite film of 2023. I guess I'll just repeat it. I think The Holdovers at the moment is still my favorite, probably.
The Holdovers.
I have like no idea. Yeah, Bo is afraid. We'll just say
Bo's afraid? Nice.
Yeah. Or John Wick 4, one of them.
Nice. Movies that don't suck. What movie surprised you the most? Shit, what did I say for that? For the most surprising movie?
Oh yeah, I did say it. I said Barbie.
Oh,
Barbie surprised me.
Oh yeah. My most surprising was Saw X because I thought it was gonna be bad.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah.
That surprised me.
From All Right So Reviews, he asked 2 questions. Most and least anticipated 2024 releases. Never mind, we just talked about it. And Oscar predictions.
Cillian Murphy.
Yes, give Cillian Murphy.
Paul Giamatti.
You know what?
Paul Giamatti's not gonna win.
No, but after watching
He
Holdovers,
fucking should.
He should. I actually agree with Keelan. As much I thought Cillian Murphy was great, but Paul Giamatti deserves it. And give Zac Efron a fucking nomination, dude. Watch Iron Claw and give him a nomination because it's amazing.
That'd be nice to see.
That'd be great to see. He deserves it.
If there's something I would really like to see, it would be Glenn Howerton getting a nomination for Blackberry, but that won't happen.
No, yeah, probably won't.
He is phenomenal in that. Tobin Bell for Best Leading Actor. That's my prediction.
Saw X for Best Picture. What?
I'm gonna guess that Across the Spider-Verse would win Best Animated. I would have to think.
Without a fucking
Probably.
doubt. Like, what other animated film come out this year? Wish? Are you going to give fucking Best Animated Film
They
to
might.
Wish? Get the fuck
There was
outta
Wish.
here.
There was Elemental. There was that
Boy and
Teenage
the
Mutant
Heron.
Ninja Turtles movie. Boy and the Heron. Yeah.
That has a chance.
Oh, Boy and the
That has a
Heron.
chance,
Dude, Boy and
but
the
I think
Heron,
Across the Spider-Verse would probably win. Like, they gave Into the Spider-Verse an Oscars for that, so...
I think they should give Boy and the Heron a win just because who knows how many more movies Miyazaki has in him, you know?
That's
like,
not
give
an
him the
excuse to
fucking-
give someone wins.
But it's still, but I think the movie is also good enough to where it does deserve it, honestly. So it's kind of both. All right, and last question. That's an interesting username. Brian's World. He asked New Year's resolutions. Yeah, I don't really call mine resolutions. I just try and make like goals for the year, but like my main goal is just to build my savings account back up and like still keep going to the gym. Just the money and fitness thing. I just want to really get better at that. That's the main thing, honestly.
I would like to try and dedicate myself more to my own content as well as this podcast. That's a resolution, but it's just hard to do it right now with everything going on. So like once I'm moved over and can settle in a little bit, then I'll get back to it.
Yeah, and read more. I do want to actually read more. Like a book a month. If I could do a book a month, then I'll be happy.
I will read all of the big religious texts.
Read the Bible, read the Quran, read the fucking...
The Quran, read the fucking Torah.
Yeah.
The Last Temptation of Christ script.
Who's recommending the next topic?
I believe it's me. I thought about doing something a little bit different. I don't know how up for it you guys would be, but hopefully you are. I was thinking of doing a discography, and it's a discography that neither of you have heard, I believe. It's 6 albums, but I think we can get that done. Like, that's a reasonable number, I think.
Sure, 6, yeah.
And the artist is Flying Lotus.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he has 6 albums:
Flying
1983,
Lotus.
Los Angeles, Cosmogramma, Until the Quiet Comes, You're Dead, and Flamagra. And he's one of my favorite artists, honestly. Like, I've loved him for quite a while. I think I got introduced to him when I was like maybe 15 or something like that. And I've just pretty much loved his music ever since. And I think he's one of the best like producers out there as well. He's really, really unique.
That is a good recommendation. I'm excited for that.
I'm glad.
You can find me on everything under Views by Quinn. Just go to the link tree, Instagram, Letterboxd, all of
You can
that.
find me at Movies Music Me on everything, pretty much. YouTube, Letterboxd, everything else at the link tree. Check it out.
You can find me as Only Shallow on everything except Goodreads, because I don't read. It's in the link tree in the bio.
Yes.
I am actually on
Get on
I am
Goodreads.
actually on Goodreads. I'll say that much.
Why?
That's a lie. I think I've only logged I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which is the last book I read. So
And you did end something. You ended your Goodreads
I did.
reading.
I'm
Badoom.
thinking of ending my Goodreads
Yeah.
account.
All right. That's.
Charlie
shit.
Kaufman hit us up.
All right. Well, cool. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New
And-
Year.
Peace out, bitches.